Hello students, good morning. How are you all? I hope you all are fit and fine. And first of all, I wish everybody a very happy new year. And I hope that this coming year will bring you lots of happiness and joy, and hope we can meet for this year. Okay, let us close our eyes and say a small prayer asking God, "Oh God, help us, guide us, and take care of us. Bless our thoughts, words, and actions. Keep us safe from all harm and danger. Bless all the people like our parents, teachers, or elders who are taking care of us. God, help us to be in good health and study well so that we can answer better in our final exam. Thank you, God." Okay, children. So, how are you all? And I hope you all are feeling good. Let us start with our English class now. Today we are going to do a story which is written by a writer from Czech Republic. His name is Franz Kafka. He is a novelist and a short story writer. Now this story is basically like a dream where people can, think that it's a reality. Children, how many of you dream? Does anybody dream? Have you ever felt like in your dream you are dreaming till the morning until somebody will wake you up? Your mother will wake you up, "Wake up, it's time for school." Or "Wake up, it's nearly 10 o'clock, you're sleeping so late." Right? So we all dream. And sometimes we dream which are small dreams. Sometimes the dreams go on and on till dawn. Right? Now, how many of us remember our dreams? Do we remember our dreams? Can you tell me in the morning, like suppose if you have dreamt, anybody who have dreamt and can remember and can tell the dream, you can actually remember the entire dream and you can narrate it to somebody. Has anybody has such an incident where you can remember your dream very, very clearly? You can remember the people in your dream, the conversation in your dream. Has it happened to you? Sometimes we dream, and sometimes dreams are good dreams, sometimes they are bad dreams. Sometimes we wake up in the morning and we tell our mother or our parents, right? "Oh, yesterday night I had a dream. It was like a horrible dream. It was such a bad dream." And then you start explaining the dream. Else you also share with your parents and friends like, "Okay, I had a dream yesterday. It was a beautiful dream. We went for a picnic. We had a nice time together." Right? So the dreams can be different types. It could be happy dreams, it could be sad dreams, it could be frightening dreams, right? So we can have different dreams. Sometimes we see dreams which we feel like it is reality, right? Sometimes it's reality and then we can even remember everything, right? So this is a story also wherein this person, we see the entire story, but probably it is a dream, right? But then they show that it is not a dream because actually he's been seeing himself and the stage what he is undergoing, the person is able to explain. Okay, so we will do chapter 4, a strange transformation. This is the lesson for today. Now let me start reading and explaining. So before I start, I want everybody to have a pencil in your hand. Okay, so as and when I explain the words, you have to underline and write down the meanings so that when you read, you will understand the meaning quickly. Whenever we write the meanings, whenever we read and we are stuck, "Oh, what does this word mean? I can't able to understand." So the best way is you take a pencil in your hand, pencil and a rubber always. You have to keep it besides your textbook when the teacher is teaching you. Any subject it might be. You keep on writing. Whatever the difficult, when teacher is talking, you have to just look at your words, and when the teacher is explaining to you any particular word with the meaning, you underline the word and you write down the meaning, so that it makes your reading and understanding easy. Okay children, let us start now. A strange transformation is adapted from the metamorphosis. Kafka deals with question of identity in this story. Now this story, as I told you, is written by Kafka, the writer from Czech. He is explaining this story. Now this story completely deals with the identity of the person, right? Now it is a person here now who is seeing the dream, or he imagines. Now here he imagines this person, Greg. This story is about Gregor Samsa. Okay. Now Gregor Samsa is the person about whom we will talk. Now here we see that it was a long going dream, and it was like obnoxious dream. He saw a dream which was like anxious, like he was like very excited, like anxious, like he was kind of like sad when he woke up from the dream. The dream was that kind of a thing. So now here in this story we see that he is waking up from a dream and he's anxious. So it is an anxious dream. What did he see? Samson saw that he was in the bed. Okay, he was sleeping in the bed, and he had changed into a frightening monster, and he had changed into not a human being but a monstrous bug. A bug is a kind of a huge. Now monstrous means what? Monstrous means something what is ugly and frightening. Bug, you know what is a bug? Bug is a kind of an insect. And so he sees that he had changed into a bug. A venomous bug means a kind of a bug. Now here they say is monstrous venomous bug. Venomous is insects which live on the bodies of animals or even humans, right? Probably like the human. Now if a mosquito cannot, mosquito, like for example, that mosquito, how does it live? It sucks blood, right? Either from humans or humans or animals, right? So similarly, this was an monstrous venomous bug. Means it was a huge, ugly looking and frightening bug. Monstrous means huge, right? So it was a bug which would survive on where it stays on the bodies of plant, animals and humans. Now the situation is that he is on the bed. Okay, he's sleeping on the bed, and then as he wakes up, what does he see? He sees that he is not able to move his body. Okay, and he is not able to lift his head also. So he is now wondering what is actually happening to him. Okay, he discovered that in bed he had been changed into a monstrous venomous bug. He lay his arm hard back and saw, as he lifted up his head, his brown ached abdomen divided up into rigid bow-like sections. So what did he see? He saw that he had changed into a huge bug, monstrous bug, and he lay on the bed with his armed hard body. What is armor hard body? Armor. You know what is armor? Armor is like this metal suit what soldiers wear when they go for war. You have seen this olden epics and all where there are wars, right? Like for example Mahabharata or Ramayana. This soldiers, when they go for war, they wear this armor, right? The kings and all, they wear this metal armor, so that if anything will, this arrows or anything will, if it hits, it will not hit the body. It's like in modern version we say bulletproof jacket, right? So now we don't have bows and arrows. People don't shoot with bows and arrows. But now we have guns, right? Shooting guns. So now what do we want? Like for example, our Prime Minister or President or big personalities, like who are, what do they wear? They wear a bulletproof jacket. So in olden times they used to wear armor. Armor is something what can help the body not to get hurt, right? And now people wear bulletproof jackets because nowadays we don't have bows and arrows, we have guns, so that the bullet will not hurt the body. He tried to lift up his head and then he saw his abdomen, which is divided into right bow. What happened to his abdomen? His abdomen was giving a slight pain, right? So his brown ached abdomen divided up into right bow-like sections. So he saw that his abdomen was not normal, what he used to see, right? He saw that his abdomen was showing a different shape, a bow-like sections. From this height, the blanket just about ready to slide off completely. Could hardly stay in place. So now, so huge means probably this man was like overweight or whatever. So like now, for example, now the transformation is happening. What we see, huge bug. So what is the man saying is the blanket which was there would slide off instantly. It would not take much time for the blanket to slide off, right? So probably that the stomach part was like huge, like big. So if you just shake the side or that side, probably the blanket would slide off on the other end. From this height, the blanket was ready to slide off completely. Could hardly stay in place. His numerous legs, pitifully thin in comparison of the rest of his body, flickered helplessly before his eyes. So now he sees that he's become a bug, right? And his tiny legs, do you know how many legs does a caterpillar have? Or how many legs does an earthworm have? Or a centipede have? It's countless, right? You see lots of them. When they move, they are like wriggling. Have you seen? Children, if you have not seen, you need to see an earthworm or centipede or something. And in the rains, so there are too many, right? You see centipedes walking around here and there. You just have to give a kick and they will just roll around and go flying. So he saw lots of legs. He saw that he is having lots of legs. Means it was like an insect. Numerous legs. Numerous. When you say numerous means you cannot able to count. That is the time we say numerous. Okay. Pitifully thin in comparison to the rest of his body. Now, that means that his body was huge. And this numerous legs were like countless. Right. Another word for numerous is countless. To the comparison to his body means the body was huge. But the legs were so thin and like tiny and numerous. Flickered helplessly before his eyes. What is flickered? Flickered means move in small quick movements. Now have you seen a centipede or an earthworm or something, some insect, where you see their legs, what we say, legs only, right? They move like uncontrollably, they keep on moving, right? They will not stop moving unless like they are just there at a pause, right? So it flickered helplessly. So it kept on moving rigorously without any control. It is like small quick movements. What's happened to me? He thought. Now he's thinking and he sees all this, like, his body is like turned around and his legs are numerous legs, So he's wondering, what's happened to me? He thought. It was no dream. Now he was wondering, was it a dream? Could I see such a dream? But probably he was awake. His eyes were open. He could see his body. So he says, this was no dream. His room, a proper for a human being, only somewhat too small, lay quietly between the four well-known walls. So now he was sleeping on the bed and Now he is wondering, like, where am I? What's wrong? So when he looked around, he saw the four walls, right, which were very much familiar to him, as it was his bedroom, or it was his room where he was sleeping. So the walls were very much familiar to him, right? So here they say well known. Well known means also familiar. Above the table on which an unpacked collection of sample cloth goods was spread out. Now this man Samsa, he was like a salesman. Salesmen for material. He was always traveling in different places. Probably they were having some kind of a factory or something. So he had lot of different kinds of materials which he had to go and give around for checking and take orders and whatever. So his table was, full of this clothes. So it says unpacked collection of sample cloth. So many cloths where they were packed. They were like packed goods, which were collection of sample cloth goods was spread out. Like the table was full of this packed clothing, right? Samsa was a traveling salesman. See, so he's dealing with clothes. He had to go traveling from place to place so that he could give the sample material and probably collect the order as the people would place the order. Probably it was into shops, material shops, where people give orders for clothes, right? Because when you go for a shopping, you go to a shop, you don't see one or two, right? You have collection of different types of materials, different color combinations, different variations, contrast colors if you're choosing clothes. True, especially for ladies and even for men, right? We go for a proper color, the top and the bottom. If the boys want to go for a pant and shirt, you say, okay, this color shirt, okay, this is the design. I don't like checks, I like stripes. Okay, otherwise you go for plain material, plain, just or some printed thing. Then you say, okay, now this pant will not suit on this color combination is not all right, so we have to select a better combination. So for these reasons, the shopkeepers have to have a different variety of colors, different types of materials, right, so that they can help the customers for proper purchasing. Now, he was a salesman, hung the picture which had cut out of an illustrated magazine a little while ago and set it in a pretty frame. So what he had done is he had done a cutting, he had a cutout, right? He had a cutout of an illustrated magazine a little while ago and set it in a pretty frame. So he had probably done his homework, like, when the salesmen, when they come, they have to talk, they have to present their material, they have to do it very nicely with different illustrations so that people will buy, right? The salesman, it is not a very easy job. They have to be very, very efficient in their talking, their presentation, because when they have a good presentation, they can have a proper sale. The sale will happen when the proper presentation is better. Gregor's glance then turned to the window. Now, as he was sleeping, he saw himself and then he looked towards the window. The dreary weather, the raindrops were falling audibly down on the metal window ledge, made him quite sad. So, as he glanced through the window, he saw the weather was not good. The dreary weather. What does the weather? How is the weather? How do they describe? How does the writer describe the weather? He says the weather is dreary. Dreary means depressingly dull. Sometimes when we see the weather, we feel so happy. Some people like the rain, some people don't. So it depends from person to person and their likes and dislikes. So this man Greg, he did not probably like the rains. Why? Because he was a traveling salesman. If it is raining, he could not be able to travel. It was like a hitch. Hitch means he could not easily travel. If it is raining, he had to stop by, wait for the rain to pass off because he had his, you see, he is dealing with materials. So he has to probably carry this bag of his when he is going for his presentation of sales. right? So if it rains, all this material will get wet. And if it is getting wet, it is hard time again for him. He has to dry it. He has to probably clean the thing, wipe the bag, and it will even spoil the cloth probably if the water seeps in. So he used to not like this weather. So here they say it's a dreary weather, means it is like a depressing weather. The weather has to, for people who are dealing in sales, they need bright weather so that they can easily travel. People who are traveling, right? Many of your parents are traveling, right, for work. So when it is raining, how do they feel? Some people don't enjoy the rain, but some people, they love the rain anyways. They can do everything in the rain. So some people, they don't like the rain and it depresses them. Dreary weather. They feel like, oh my God, it's raining. How will I go outside? How will I finish my work? Today's day is so bad. It's like useless. The day is gone because of the rain. Some people think like that. So it's dull weather, dreary weather. And he saw that the raindrops were falling audibly down on the metal window ledge. Audibly means something what you can hear. When we talk, the teacher might tell you, you speak loud, you are not audible, right? Sometimes when we have online classes, you tell me, right? Or the student might tell the teacher, miss, you are not audible, right? Audible means not to be heard. Okay, audible means not to be heard. The person is soft. It's not to be heard. It is audible. So when you say children are audible, means they are speaking at a proper volume and they are heard clearly. That is the meaning of audible. Now the raindrops, where they were falling, the raindrops were falling on the metal window ledge. Means they were falling, probably there was some kind of a metal window there and they were falling on the ledge, which was making that sound. That is the reason the writer is saying they were audible. They were probably making that, when the raindrops fall and they fall on something, how tap, 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 you hear this type sound. You know that the water is either falling on the ground or probably it is, if it is falling on some metal piece, it will make a loud sound, tap, 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 it will make that kind of a sound. So it is very, very audible when such sound is coming. Sometimes it is disturbing. Especially when you are sleeping, this kind of sound could be disturbing. Made him quite sad. So he was already feeling sad looking at the weather. Why don't I keep sleeping for a little while longer and forget all this foolishness? Now he's thinking, probably this is a dream and I'm in my sleep, right? So why don't I sleep for a little longer and this dream will pass off? Because this is utter foolishness that I would have a big tummy and my legs are wriggling, and of course we're human beings, right? We're human beings. We have 2 hands and 2 legs. We don't have wriggling legs like the insects and worms, right? So he said, let me sleep off and let this dream pass off.